My bad. Damn, I was talking that whole time.
Start
Thank
it up
you,
again. Just
Yeshua.
start it up. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Like, oh, it's good stuff. He literally just said who shot JFK. So I guess
Y'all
we can't
missed it.
show that
Damn.
now. We missed it.
I'll
Sorry.
know
Like,
next time.
if you can read his lips, like the answer was there.
Right.
But
Thank you very much, Yeshua, for getting me on track with the audio. I apologize. I am still getting used to this damn program. And I'm running it back in, as well as talking to my friend Marcus Ruiz Evans, who is here, as I was telling you guys, but you weren't able to hear me. He is the president of Yes California, which is promoting the Cal Exit movement, which is similar to Texit and Brexit, the movement out there in the UK for England to declare its independence. And that's what we want to do here in California, is declare our independence as Americans, which our Constitution and Declaration of Independence says we the people have the authority to do. You know, we shouldn't have to ask our representatives. You know,
that's and I love that you said that. They said that the only reason they gave to leave England was to form a more perfect union.
Right.
If you look at it, that's the reason. They go, oh, all these rights by God and stuff. Yeah, but they also had rights as Englishmen.
Exactly.
So the real thing they were saying was, we think we can just do better. The phrase more perfect union means, yeah, we think we could do better.
Exactly.
That was the whole legal reasoning they gave. You can look at the documents, the Declaration of Independence, the Paris Treaty. That's all they said. They didn't go, by divine right. They said, yeah, we could do better.
Exactly. And we, the people of California, we think we can do better.
We could do better. So, yeah. So if it's
absolutely.
okay in the past, why is it not okay to just say, you're okay, but
Exactly.
I want to shop around.
Right. And we definitely deserve the opportunity to shop around for a better representation and better policies, a better government body altogether here in America, and especially in the state of California with our failed governor, Gavin Newsom.
Should do the thing.
Who is now
Which I don't endorse, but yeah. No, that's a little bit more fine. Last time you were doing like a funny. You make a point.
I like this better.
But you were like like a cartoon. Yeah. You'd say something and then you'd make a point and you go, oh yeah. That was good comedy. I was gonna have to say. Like,
but yeah, this idiot right here just lifted the stay home ban on Californians because of whatever reason he chose to.
Science.
Is it really, or is it just opinion at this point?
What other option is there?
Mm-mm.
Right? He's dedicated to science. All his decisions are by science. So, of course, reopening the economy with no warning at all must also be based upon science.
All right. Well, his decision isn't being based on science. And that's actually what just came out recently. It was discovered through reports that he was refusing to provide reporters and journalists, we the people, with information as to why he was locking us down. And then he basically came out to say that this info, this data, right, for the models is too complex for the people of California to understand. Can you believe that shit?
Insulting.
Just tell us people are dying. We can understand that. If people are getting sick at an alarming rate, dropping like flies, we can understand that. What we cannot understand is you coming up with some riffraff and expecting us to understand why you are preventing us from living our lives in its entirety and being able to earn a living for ourselves, or send our kids to school, or go out to the park and the beach and enjoy the outdoors. Hang out with family with friends. Have them come over our house instead of us being limited to who can be there. Why is it that Amazon can deliver packages to your house, a complete stranger, but you can't have friends and relatives over? You know, or you can, but they can't be too many from too many households. You know, it's just a whole bunch of rules.
I gotta make a really important point, but first I need to.
DJ's dad. Okay. DJ's dad, limited edition, says, want to have a yard sale. I got to go pull a permit. Exactly. Why the hell are we asking these people to live our lives. You know what I'm
I
saying?
keep moving back, waiting for the slap. Every time you point at him, I'm expecting one. Like,
straight up, it's coming.
Well,
Keep your eyes out.
okay, so let me do my liberal thing because we're conservative. I'm here. People are going to watch this. So I think that Gavin Newsom acted aggressively to save lives and deal with coronavirus. Not asking everyone to agree. That's my personal opinion. I like to do it. However, hold on. It's a complete sentence, right? If you're an officer and you were elected and you're saying this is about science and you're saying trust me with life and death decisions, you should be showing the data.
Exactly.
You should be consulting with the legislature. And Newsom did not consult with the legislature. I understand there was an emergency period, but fellow Democrats were calling him out going, it's month 2, you're not even talking to us.
Exactly.
Fellow Dems said that. So no, that's not democracy. Secondly, you should have the data models and the data out there publicly. Third, the LA thing, the moment that woman was sold, you can't have your business, and then they were selling lunch meat right in front of her.
Right.
You know what I'm talking, I'm getting it wrong, but you know what I'm
yeah.
talking about. And then they go, oh, this is because of science. Clearly it's not.
Right.
And the public understood that. And rather than the governor and the mayor going, we need to get in front of this and reestablish confidence, they kind of looked away from it and go, well, we'll release some data in the future. Oh, we're not going to release some data. That is the worst possible thing to do to build public confidence. And even if you are someone who agrees with the strategy, you have to recognize that we need everybody to follow along with the policy. So you need to convince people who don't necessarily agree with you.
Right.
And the only thing you got is trust. And Governor, when you do things that don't be trust, like how are you going to convince these conservatives who are skeptical to go along with this? They're like, I was barely going along with this, and then that's a lie, and then that's not fair, and then it's like,
yeah. Once you abuse public trust, what do you have left?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what your job is based on.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, as a public representative, we're trusting your ass to do exactly as you swore and took an oath to do. And a lot of these people, including this guy, he's violating his oath, you know, and we the people should not allow it at this point. And yeah, that's why we are collecting signatures to recall him. Get him out of office right now. Check out the website, recallgavin2020.com. Right there, recall Gavin Newsom. Check out the website, recallgavin2020.com, because we've collected over 1.2 million signatures so far. And we need 1.5 million to make this thing stick. And we're going to get it before March 17th. That's the deadline. So if you haven't signed the petition yet, please, again, visit the website, recallgavin2020.com. Print out that petition, sign it, send it on in as soon as you can, because we're trying to hit that 1.5 ASAP, okay? The sooner we can get those signatures, the sooner we can schedule a recall election and get me in office. Nickolas Wildstar, candidate for California governor. Check out my website down here at the bottom. Hold on. I got to switch that up, actually. Yeah.
Snatch this later.
All right, for real. So, yeah, check out my website, governorwildstar.com, and my campaign website, which is wildstar2022.com. And, of course, check out my man right here on YesCalifornia.org. You can print out the petition for California independence right there on the website. Do the same thing with the recall petition. Print it out, sign it, have a few friends and family sign it so you are filling in those blank spaces and not wasting paper, and then send it on in, all right? So we can get these signatures counted towards our effort to instill some independence here in California, bring back liberty, get rid of, tyrants like Newsom.
Whoa.
And as I said, get me in there. Let's do this.
I kind of like the governor. I understand. We've talked, but I think you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And I would be ready to switch.
All
because
right.
I've always said anybody who's ready to stand up for even considering that California needs to think seriously about if it had to be operating as a nation.
Right.
Like when we watched the expletive coup, January 6th, that sort of behavior only happens in failed countries. You came out. You came out and you said, yeah, I think this is a reasonable idea to discuss.
Absolutely. I was supportive of the idea when I first heard of it. I believe around 2016.
You said that.
Yeah, so I've always been supportive of the Cal Exit movement. There was a petition, I believe, that was initiated to break up California into 6 separate states. I'm I was supportive of that as well. I'm supportive of Jefferson State, the 51st state that wants to be created out of about 30, 40 northern counties in California. They want to break off and create their own state. Why not? Let them. They need better representation. And as Yeshua said, Newsom sucks. He's part of the oligarchy. He's part of that same elitist group that think they know better than us and want to dictate what we do with our own lives. And as my shirt says, statism are ideas that are so good they are mandatory. You see the line of law enforcers right here lined up to enforce these great ideas, because if they really were wonderful ideas, then wouldn't we voluntarily go along with it? You know what I mean? We shouldn't be forced to go along with a good idea. I mean, people recycle willingly because it's a good idea.
That's a good point.
You know, and we want to save the environment. We want to contribute to our community and, of course, save our planet. So, but yeah.
And environment.
There's a slight incentive, which is you can get paid. You know, you can get a few chunks of change, and then you have the people that do it so they can collect that money, and then you have the people who just do it because they care about you know, conserving our planet. And that's what I do. I do a little bit of both. My wife and I, we've collected recyclables before, turned that in to get money, and then went and bought food so we can turn around and feed the homeless with that.
Oh
yeah.
Snap.
Yeah,
I didn't see that second where you were going with that.
Oh,
I did the first part. Oh, nice. Yeah.
That was actually a proposal of mine with what I wanted to do for the state of California, and still would do as a government program. Is you know, again, give people that incentive to recycle. And if you put recycling bins in their homes, then they can throw it in there. We throw all of our. One thing I love about Fresno is they don't separate the recyclables. They say just throw it all in one bin and we'll settle it, which is great because now that makes us want to recycle more stuff that could be recycled, not just things that are worth money. But in places like Fullerton in Orange County, you only get paid for, you know, what is it, plastics and cans and that sort of thing. But like food containers from restaurants, you can't recycle that, can't recycle glass, wine bottles and stuff like that because it's not worth money. But as a statewide program, what we could do, recycle, get people to send in their recyclables, you know, use that money to then turn around and feed our homeless people that are unhoused. So these are great ways that we can, again, just contribute to our society without having to be forcefully taxed for it. Because when you buy any recyclable in the state of California, they charge you CRV. So they tax you in advance for the money you may get if you choose to turn in a recycle. Oh yeah, that's why you pay the CRV tax. You guys didn't even know this. 10 cents every time. And depending on how large it is, it's, you know, it goes more. All right. Hey, Lady Wildstar, got Crystal Wildstar in the house.
Hey.
Thank you for being here, beautiful. She's taking care of our son, Chancellor, while we have this chat. Just to talk to you guys a little bit about the thin line between democracy and autocracy. Because I think that's what we're approaching right now is a autocratic government. And let me bring up the definition of that so you guys can see what that means.
I was like, where's that? Where's your case? Because you always have a logical flow to the points you make, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Good to know. Thank you. I'll do my best. You know what I'm saying?
well, just real time. I'm not sure where you're going to go with this, so I'm kind of like, all right,
yeah.
Sure, something.
Yeah, this is not scripted at all.
Okay.
We just, you know,
but I know you're going to end up someplace cool, and I'm kind of like, where's he going to go? Where are we going today, Mr. Weather?
All right, so democracy, of course, is where we, the people, are able to get involved in our government process. We are able to choose. We are able to select what happens, as far as policies are concerned. But autocracy, if you look at that, look at the definition, it is a system of government by one person with absolute power. I think we've gotten more close to that now than ever before. If I can get a little closer. I don't know why it won't let me zoom in. But anyways, I know that's probably small for some of you people out there to see. But as it says, it's a system of government by one person with absolute power. Right now, that's definitely what we have in California, with our governor acting arbitrarily and pretty much dictating as to what we should be doing with our lives, just based on a whim. It's not based on science, it's not based on fact or any other information at this point, as we've come to find out with, with the exposure of him not releasing the lockdown, reasons, or whatever the case may be. So it's crazy because you got a lot of people out there that are supportive of statism and autocracy. And you got a lot of people are supportive of Gavin Newsom and what he's doing. She says, so Marcus, why Newsom and why not? I don't know what you mean by that.
Why should someone support Newsom and why should someone not support Newsom?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, Lady Wildstar. You're going to have to clarify what you mean by that. She says, so Marcus, why Newsom and why not? Oh, I think she's watching it from the beginning. So she probably wants you to answer the question.
I really thought, well, is that okay?
What's that?
To answer that real quick.
Yeah, for sure. She says exactly. And then we'll get back on. All right.
Real quick, here's part of the answer.
There she is. She says, yes, that's right. Hello. All right.
Okay, real quick.
So we got to get in the right frame of mind.
Newsom, when the pandemic happened, people were terrified. People were dying. Nobody knew what to do. And they were waiting for the federal government to take leadership. And we found ourselves in a situation that nobody had ever seen or dealt with before. I mean, people had gotten used to federal leadership since at least World War II. And then it was like, well, there's nothing. And Newsom literally jumped in with a cape and his gelled back hair and got a vaccine coming over here, followed through on the process, set up a protocol, and just straight up announced he's not going to do what the federal government says. Like California alone is going to make its own policy. That is Calexit. Now, even if you don't like Newsom, you can separate the man from the policy. That policy of saying, I don't care what the feds are saying. I don't care what we're going to have our own because we trust ourselves here.
Right.
And we think we can do better.
Exactly.
We think we can do better with our opening. Now, this was months ago. And if you want to go, well, hey, it's been draconian and stuff. Fine.
I agree. I was supportive of as well.
Early on. I'm talking about early on. We can have a debate.
Especially when he got on TV talking about millions are going to die. An estimated 10 million people are going to die. And then here we are, fast forward. So he used that fear-mongering to validate. I mean, I'm just calling it what it is now. Afterwards, we're here now, so I just got to call it what it is.
We're here now.
He used this fear-mongering at that point to say these are the reasons why we should lock down the people of the state entirely and issue the stay-at-home order, SIP, stay in place. So he did this, and you're right. This was at a time when the federal government, Trump, wasn't really taking the coronavirus as seriously. And here we have the supposed, spokesman of the state, leader of the people of California, saying, we're going to prepare for the worst, and take these safety precautions just to make sure that everything is okay. So, yeah, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? What I wasn't cool with, what is his failures before then. You know what I'm saying? He signed the Stephon Clark law, AB 392, year before, which has not stopped police shootings.
Fair enough.
In the state of California. Yes. He signed AB 5, which prevented people from working as an independent contractor before the lockdown, which led to millions of people becoming unemployed in the state of California. So that's why I really wasn't too hot on him to begin with, you know. Him promoting Prop 64, which was bad, you know, it's killed the cannabis industry in the state of California. We were just talking about that beforehand, about how, you know, independent vendor, person who sells weed, we'll just say that for the people that like simple talk, could not walk into a dispensary now and sell them weed. When that's when the dispensaries, you know, what they need is product. And if they aren't getting it from a steady supplier, then they have multiple suppliers, which if you're selling a dispensary or in the dispensary business and selling weed, you want to do. You want to have as many suppliers as possible. So some of those are going to be licensed, some of them are not. And now those dispensaries can be fined and penalized if they choose to buy from an independent vendor, you know, that isn't licensed. And now the weed man got to go out there and get a permit just to sell weed, which is crazy because that's basically the government wanting to get in on the action, you know, and take a little bit of that because it has nothing to do with them. And that's not free enterprise at all. But Newsom is to blame for that. He's also to blame for the ammunition law in the state of California. You can't buy certain ammunition. Yeah, just a whole shitload of things he did before lockdown. So we'll give him his, you know, his respect where it's due. But we also got to point out his failures also. And it's a shame that, excuse me, a lot of people in California are willing to do that, especially with this recall effort, because we could have all of the signatures that we need by now if it wasn't for this pandemic and people using that as an excuse to validate his actions. Even he's using that as an excuse to validate his actions. So, you know me, when I'm out there collecting signatures to recall on my Mondays and Saturdays, sitting outside of Walmart in the cold, in the rain. No, I'm just anal retentive like that.
No, I don't mean to come over to your studio and make a mess. You know, I don't want to be America in the Middle East.
Oh, damn.
Oh, no, he did not say that.
Dropping bombs over here. No pun intended. So anyways, yeah. I'm out there collecting signatures. And you're right, Yeshua, and he says, and they limit the licenses to make sure that the crony systems get its due. For sure. They limit the amount of cannabis licenses that are issued too for dispensaries. So not everybody has an opportunity to just get one. I can't just open up a shop right now, you know? Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, out there collecting signatures, and two ladies came up to me and we're like, yeah, you know, we signed the petition already. We were just excited and wanted to say hi and let's get him out of there. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm sick of dictators too, you know, because they're talking about him having his winery open and other businesses being shut down and his kids being in school, but public schools are shut down and we are still paying taxes for it. But yeah, so I'm thinking, of course, these ladies identified themselves as conservatives because they're talking about being Trump supporters or whatever the case may be, which I am not. But I gave them my card, and I'm even though they told me this, you know, I'm like, hey, here's my card. I'm a candidate running for governor. Check me out. And she said, oh, wow, you know, so this is where the conversation starts. And she asked me, she's like, hey, well, I have you here. Let me ask you a question. She's like, do you support abortion? And I'm like, no, I don't actually. I don't support it at all. I don't think that our tax dollars as participants in this economy and being taxed for wars and, other things that we pay for that we don't have any choice in is acceptable, including abortion, which is a personal choice, and emergency aid should be there for those who need it, of course, but there are charities that happily provide them that access and those services, etc. But me as a taxpayer, I don't want to have to pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, just because of how I personally feel about abortion, But I said also, I'm pro-choice though. I'm not going to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her own body. And I don't feel like that should be government's role. It shouldn't be at all, telling us anybody what we should or shouldn't do with our own bodies. And I said that extends to whether you want to use a drug of choice or whatever the case may be, or you want to take a vaccine or drink alcohol or eat McDonald's, whatever the case. Your body, your property, your choice. Government shouldn't have nothing to do with it. Government shouldn't be paying for your failures, to not be responsible, or your mistakes, whatever the case may be. So she's like, yeah, that's great, but don't you think abortion is murder? Again, my personal choice has nothing to do with it. I can feel like that all day. As a government representative, or as a government employee, which is someone who works for you, all of you, not just you who feel that way, but those of you who don't also. We got to start thinking about that. Again, we don't live in an autocracy. We live in a democracy. We got to respect everyone. If we're going to live in harmony, if we go imposing our will on each other, based on our own moral premise or whatever the case may be, moral standards, then that's where we're on a slippery slope and shit falls apart. And that's where what I basically said to her as an example, I'm like, there was a time when people thought, I don't want a black man marrying a white woman.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna create laws against that. I don't want black kids going to school with my kids. So I'm gonna create a law against that. I don't want women in the military. So I'm gonna create a law against that. And I said, that's the thing is at some point we say, no, that's wrong. And we go and we change the law. And at some point, when do we evolve to say enough is enough? You got to have representatives, people brave as me, getting up there. You're reading from a chart. No, I'm not. I don't know.
No chart.
Right.
He's just, this is him.
Yeah. I'm flowing from the heart, man. What you talking about? This is the freestyle of Yeshua that I'll be doing. Oh, you see that rhyme right there? But anyway.
That's right. The recall debate's coming.
Exactly.
Two candidates.
Oh yeah, the
battle. Each other.
We got to talk about that. We're gonna make that happen. But yeah, you're right. You should. I'm with you on that. Criticizing and criminalizing humans to regulate their own conscience. So yeah. I'm having this back and forth exchange with them, and as much as they're trying to convince me, because they're bringing up God and religion and the Bible and all of this other stuff, and I had to break that down to them too. I'm like, hey, we're not a Christian nation. Thomas Jefferson was not a Christian. George Washington was not a Christian. So our nation is not found on Christians or Christian theology. Is based on natural law, which we all know. Don't kill people, respect life, or really don't murder, because they allow killing all day, every day. If it's
that's true.
Justified, which is another thing that I brought up during our conversation, because she's like, all life needs to be protected and respected and adored. I said, okay, well, what about those people that are getting get the death penalty and are on death row? What about that? And she's like, well, the justice system has to discipline us. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Or autocracy, man. A system of government by one person and absolute power.
I need daddy government to spank me bad.
Absolutely. Without the government there to discipline us, things would go bad. That's how people are thinking. That's their line of thinking when they choose representatives, the people that we call leaders, whether it's a city council member, assembly member, Senate member, a mayor, a governor, a president. These are the people that they're choosing. And I was trying to convince them that this is the problem with government right now. And despite me trying to make that point, because hold on, let me get through the comments here. He is speaking from what he believes. Oh, thank you, Carlos. It's me, Carlos, and the updates on the recall. I haven't seen anything. 1.2 million signatures, Carlos. 1.2 million signatures. We are trucking through it. We're almost at 1.5 million, so hang in there. We'll get there soon. Issuance is good. Tell them read Exodus 30, see what ingredients are in anointing oil. Tell them to look into the ingredients of the showbread in the Bible. Oh, wow. Dropping them jewels on Yeshua. Jason, what's up? He says, yeah, can't claim everyone is free to choose religion or not for themselves and then claim that it has to be the only religion. Exactly. Makes no sense.
Yes, right? California kind of likes it.
Right, because I said, hey, what about Muslim people? What about Jewish people? And she's like, yeah, if you don't stand with Israel, then you're against America. I said, oh, no. Yeah. You really not going to like me. At this point, y'all, I even have to say to them, I said, look, I don't want to disrespect you with my presence, so I'll take back my business card. You know what I mean? Because I can tell from our exchange, you're not going to like me, because
that's a hot.
I'm not pledging allegiance to Israel. I pledge allegiance to the people of America and nobody else, period. Yeah. I don't care where you from. I live in America. I was born in America. I'm most likely may end up dying in America. Okay? So I'm American. Fuck the racist institutionalism or whatever the case may be. We are Americans, okay? And we gonna stand for Americans first. So all of you people out there claiming this whole America first thing, like I'm sure they were, and then also pledging allegiance to Israel, there's a conflict there. That's a conflict of interest. Who do you care more about? The people of Israel or the people of America? And I said, hey, why are we giving money to Israel? Why are we giving money to any other country for that matter? Why don't we use that money to help the people here in America first, where it belongs? What president has made that pledge yet? None. Why? Because they're all puppets, okay? Including this one. He's a puppet too. For the state of California, but yeah, it's sad because she even brought up what was it, immigration, because I said, do you think it's okay for kids to be in cages? Since we're talking about life here and protecting our children, do you think it's okay for kids to be in cages?
Thank you.
This is despicable. I'm a father myself, and before I'm a father, I'm a humanitarian. And that shit is just disgusting to me. Anybody that wants to validate that, like that's okay, has no heart, has no soul. Okay? And she says, well, I haven't seen proof of it. I said, all right, have you been looking for the proof? Because I've seen the proof. And it's irrefutable. It's undeniable. It's unacceptable. And we should not have allowed it, period. I got some comments to get through here. But yeah, so I says this to her. And she said, Newsom is retracting the policies that he thinks people are supporting the recall for. Yep, like this lockdown. He ended the lockdown as soon as people started to get pissed off and find out, hey, why are you holding the data behind this secret?
It wasn't based on just science and data?
Yeah. Which scientists? Because he even told the CDC that we're not going to listen to you over the summer. We're going to use our own model.
That's true. He said that.
Yeah.
He did say that.
It's ridiculous. They think that the Jewish state is real. Yeshua says that. He says, LOL must stand with another nation or you are against America. Straight up. Amen. I got some amens from Yeshua. All right. I'm good to know I'm talking about good stuff. They got strings going up and down. These marionettes. Yeah, for sure. They puppeteers. Who's the puppet masters? That's who we need to start asking. You're right. No president has done that. Carlos says, all right, good. Amen. No kid should be housed in cages. Both sides complicit. Tell me about it. The scientists who contribute to his campaign. Yeshua. Right about that. Yeah, Yeshua. And so you're right. No kids should be housed in cages. And when I said this, because there were two of them, I was going back and forth between two of them. They were like hitting me up left and right here with this. So the other one said, do you think it's okay for, them to be bringing their children over here with them? Because we should be blaming the parents for that, right? I said, yes and no. I said, yeah, every parent should be responsible for their child, but America is supposed to be a place where everybody is welcome. Okay? Where everybody is welcome. Come here, make America great. By working and contributing and adding to our economy and our society. And you can do whatever you want with your money, because you earned it. That's it. That's the American dream. Now, citizenship is voluntary. Anybody who comes here from another country, they should not be forced to become a citizen. They should not have to. That is not freedom. That is not liberty. That is not what this country stands for. So to say they should come here and they should do it the right way, when these people knew nothing about the immigration process, even though they claim to be from Mexico, all right? They don't know people pay tens of thousands of dollars for work visas just to stay in America. And not everybody here in America, these immigrants, are from Mexico. We got ones from China. We got ones from India. The number one immigrant population coming to America is from India first, and then China second. All of America, especially including here in California. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
England, Canada, these are all immigrants. And even though they may not be these same people that you're talking about, Julia said he just got off the Larry Sharp string. All right, I appreciate you joining me, my man. Yeah, the sharp way, sharp is my man. Definitely appreciate you jumping in and supporting me as well. Jason, I hear from folks on the other side saying the kids shouldn't have come here if they didn't want to be locked up. Isn't that disgusting? The kids didn't have no choice. The kids are coming with the parents most likely. And if the kids are coming here on their own, then they definitely are in need of asylum or, them being protected. If we care about kids, or do we just care about our own kids? Because if we look at our children as being like a community and it takes a village to raise a child, all of our children are the children of the world, okay? And we need to make sure they're taken care of. If you want to send foreign aid to countries like Israel to help their kids, when really it's going to their government, let's be real. All of this foreign aid isn't going to help these people in these countries like you people think. They're going to the governments, and the governments are choosing what they do with that money. Mm-hmm. But I told the lady, I said, hey, we should We should streamline the immigration process. It's difficult right now. It takes years even. Shit is confusing. The average American can't answer some of the questions on the citizenship test. But yet we're requiring for an immigrant to? Why is that necessary? Why? It doesn't matter if they know what year the Liberty Bell, arrived in Philadelphia, or what state is it in. Some people don't even know these answers to these questions either themselves. So yeah, forced citizenship and denial, revocation of citizenship. Those are tactics Hitler used against the Germans who were also Jewish. Tell them, Jason. I mean, it's a slippery slope to autocracy and authoritarianism, Yeshua says they should stay as a unit. DNA test if you think they're a suspect. Only reason for separation would be signs of abuse upon them getting a physical. Yeah. Jason says, yep, totally disgusting. Lock them up. Those who feel like that. Let's do a DNA test and deport them to the country. Their test says they have the most penalized kids. Please, I'll penalize you first. That would be crazy.
That would be funny as hell. You are a racist, and now you are sent back to, right, they plug in the DNA
right,
test.
Yeah.
Northern France.
Oh, damn.
Damn. Get in there.
You are deported to Northern France with your racist ass.
The French are like, whoa, what?
And I told her, when I was bringing up these examples, the way that they rationalized it was to say it's not the same thing. When I brought up the race and segregation and, sexism, etc., was they said it's not the same thing. I said it's prejudice. Period. Racism is a form of prejudice. Okay? So whether you think, whether you think that people shouldn't be here from another country unless they're receiving a piece of paper, or the measure you use. Yes, Yeshua, and I appreciate it. Carlos, I apologize. Some kid yesterday got mad at me in my school in Zoom yesterday. I said Gavin should be recalled for what he has done. And he said lockdowns are good, and I think lockdowns are not good. No, they're definitely not good, but we should have the freedom of opinion, and why is it that we got to be all in or not? And this is where fascism is. The left has their fascists, and so does the right. We've seen the right fascists through Trumpism. Now we're seeing the left's fascism through, BLM movement and, people like this guy who are, lock in step with Gavin Newsom in the Democratic Party without using facts as a premise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, yeah, I've said that I like Gavin, but I have specific reasons. And a lot of the people that I have talked about the recall, they're either, let's have the recall, or if they're for Gavin, they're like, he's the greatest ever. How dare you even ask anything at all? And I'm like, whoa, I'm on the same team and I can't even ask a question.
Right,
like,
exactly.
He's an elected official. This is what we do. This is what separates us from the bad governments and their backward ways, right?
Right.
What are you doing? People getting all upset. How dare you even fathom to question him? Whoa, what? That's a king.
Exactly. That is a king.
That don't belong in a democracy.
Right.
So we'll just square that one away, okay? It's cool. No, it ain't cool.
But people still have that imperialistic mindset. It's like if England was in control of America right now, they would be pro redcoats. They would be pro redcoats. So whenever I see red hats, I see redcoats. Let's just call it what it is. Whenever I see people like this saying we all need to be locked down and this is justified and we all need to be vaccinated, this is justified, I'm seeing redcoats, because you're a status right here, which your idea is so good that you're using the machine to make it mandatory. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jason says even Putin takes questions. True that, but yeah, it's just sad that people are so locked in these mindsets to where, again, we aren't questioning our government. I don't know where this like blind allegiance came into play, but we as adults should know better, especially when there's information at our fingertips. And if we refuse to research and um, educate ourselves, then what's the point? Because we're passing that lack of knowledge and that ignorance on to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. When does it end? When do we break this cycle of stupidity, of ignorance, of craziness, of totalitarianism? Carlos says, oh yeah, I was doing phone banking and people get mad at me. How dare you? Gavin is best we've ever had. I just, all right, I'll respect your opinion and say, have a good day. Exactly. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Just keep on moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, straight up.
You're not trying to engage with these people and cause an argument. And that, I want to say this to you people out there. I make these videos for you people that know better, It's some people still trying to learn and figure out what's going on. That's cool. You can watch this all day long. You people out there that know better, you don't have any excuse. You're supposed to be out there doing better. You're supposed to be leading by example. And we have that responsibility as knowers and being in the know to act on that knowledge. If we don't, then we're just as guilty as those we blame and fault and call stupid and sheeple and, whatever the case may be, because you're falling into that same category of ignorance is bliss. And the majority of people want to live a happy, simple life. They don't care about what the fuck the government is doing, their social issues. They want to go to work. They want to, have a way to provide and earn a living for themselves. They want to travel. They want to have a family. They want to go to school. They want to eat at different restaurants, whether it be indoors or outdoors. They don't want to be forced to do this. And as I said, those of us who know better got to step up to do something about it. Yeshua says, lots just woke up this year. There's a difference between awake and aware. Tell me all about it, brother. Tell me all about it. To be aware comes over time, being awake, indeed. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about. This experience that I had with, again, attempting to educate, a fellow resident of California. I don't like calling us citizens because I don't like that word. But for all of you people in the know that know about that.
Badass. Two fist bumps.
All right.
I see what you're doing there. Yeah.
I drop little gems, you know what I'm saying, so people can pay attention.
Straight up.
But yeah, so.
¿Entiendes?
But we're going to change things, definitely, especially if I'm given the opportunity to serve the people of California as a governor and govern for the state. Because my job would be to govern state officials, state activity, state responsibilities, not residents of the state. That is what this guy is doing right now. He's governing people of the state, and we should not be allowing that. That is not his job. That's our job. I call myself Governor Wildstar, as you can see down at the bottom, because I govern myself. I'm the governor of me. I govern my lifestyle. I govern my choices. I govern my family, in consultation with my wife, because that's what every good governor would do, is they would consult those people that they govern, to find out what it is that they want. That's why I asked my wife, what do you want for dinner tonight, babe? I don't just say, tonight we're having, I'll suggest. I'll say, hey, you want to have pizza or some shit?
All right.
And she can choose, but I'm not going to say this is the way it's going to be. Or else I don't think I'd be happily married at all. I don't think I'd be married for as long as I have been. I don't think I would have been blessed with a child and her, making me a father if I had governed myself that type of way as a man and introduced myself to her in such a manner, because she's a woman of independence herself. She governs herself, so she's going to need a man that balances that. I guess I'm going to call myself Governor Sarabia. Yeah, I guess Gavin can't tell me what to do. You're damn right, Carlos. You got to declare it, Governor Sarabia. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them tell you what you are. You declare what you are. That's what free people do. They declare their independence. They declare their status. They declare their sovereignty. Declare your independence as an individual and declare that you are the governor of you. My job as a public servant would be to govern state affairs. That's his job. He's not doing it right now. Let's get him out of office. Recall Gavin2020.com. All right. Let me flip that back on the screen. The governor of California has two titles with one job: governor and commander in chief of California. Correct. As commander in chief of California, he can make sure that there isn't any police shootings, but there are. He can make sure that it isn't abuses of authority by judicial officials, but there are. I plan on speaking to my man Daryl Cotton of 151farmers.org. Check it out, 151farmers.org. He has an interesting story to tell, and we gonna be talking because I'm also joining arms with the cannabis community, and we gonna raise some hell here in the state of California over these next few months, up into this election, because that's the thing. The line in the sand has been drawn. We're not going to accept any more. This is it. You know what I'm saying? No more selling we the people short. It is now our moment, and we are defining it by saying enough is enough. It's that simple. Enough is enough. If you don't deliver, then you got to go. It's that simple. Gavin Newsom going to be the first example of that. We're going to get him out of office. Hopefully we'll get me in there. And then I'm going to turn shit around on the dime, people. Okay, I'm not wasting time with reform. I'm not wasting time with cutting taxes. I'm not wasting time with making sure that our homeless get off the streets. I'm going to make sure that shit is done immediately. Okay, first 100 days in one. First 100 days in one. That's what I'm calling my policies to introduce 100 days of what, how they ask you, what would you do in your first 100 days? All of the policy changes I'm proposing to do during that time, I'm going to do in one day. My first day as governor, one day. All right. You were talking about personal self-determination. Definitely. You got that right. Yeah, we get you in office. You can bet that. Absolutely, Carlos. You're right about that. Get me in office. Let's make it a sure thing. In 100 days, fix all the BS. You can do it. Yeah, 100 days in one, man. I'm going to do that shit in one day, bruh. In one day. It's not going to take 100 days. It may take 100 days for people to settle into those changes. But all of those policy changes will be made on day one, because you get the job, you get elected here in the state of California. If we have this recall election, I'll get elected. I'm governor. You know what I'm saying? Newsom is gone. He's gone. Versus the gubernatorial election, to where if he stuck around and actually filled his term, then he would be, or I would be taking office in January 2023 as the new governor, but I would get elected in November 2022. Between November, December, January, I have time to work with my policy team to get everything in in line and get it ready and prepared, which I'm already going to do before November comes along. That way, if I win in November, we're already ready to just ink the shit and get it going. But pretty much that's what these elected officials could have done. Like Biden comes in with, a plan supposedly to handle this coronavirus, but it still looks like he's juggling. You had all this time to prepare. You mean to tell me you're still not ready? Governor Newsom, all this time you had an opportunity to prepare about vaccine distribution in the state of California, yet you don't know what to do. Why are you people not prepared? That's because they don't care. If they did, then I think that they would do something about it. What don't you think, Marcus?
I mean, there's certainly a disconnect.
I'm not boring you over here.
I'm when I turn my ear, I'm listening.
Okay.
Like sometimes you're really laying it out and there's a lot of parts. And then when I turn my ear, it allows me to because when I'm looking at something, I'm thinking about what my eyes are looking at, not what I'm hearing.
Right.
So I actually focus more, like when it gets intense. And I'm like, okay, what? Hold on.
Gotcha.
So I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I do. I think that. Could I do a quick response?
Yeah, for sure. Please.
Okay. Response? Okay.
Yeah.
When Gavin Newsom in, I think it was 2003, said, I don't care what the federal government says, we're going to recognize a California value. What I know people here believe in is right. And that was LGBTQ marriage. And he was criticized by that. And federal President George W. Bush and Barack Obama criticized him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Obama changed his opinion, but Obama was originally cold for a couple of years, not like a month, like a couple full-on years. How dare you do that? All right. And Newsom held tight. And then in 2009, after there was Governor Schwarzenegger held climate change conferences and California passed all these revolutionary laws because the federal government couldn't get anything approved on climate change, and they just did it. We did such a good job that Ban Ki-moon, the head of the UN, goes, damn, you guys are doing the actual what we should be doing. Just keep doing it, right? Because we obviously can't do it. America can't do it. Just California can do it. Keep going. And the very next year, Newsom goes, you know what we should have? This is bold leadership. A UN in California.
Mm-hmm.
The UN started. And he's like, let's bring the UN back. We just did this climate change conference. So good, the UN said it wasn't like a full-on UN. It was like a UN on climate change. But it would have been an office, like the fourth one in the world in California. Can you imagine the political upgrade and money?
Oh my God, yeah.
That would have happened. And nobody was saying that. And Newsom he was laughed at for that, but it was a thorough plan and I loved it. And then finally we fast forward to now with the reopening and the coronavirus protocols, that there was a complete lack of leadership and people were expletive terrified. I don't care what anybody says. People in California were scared.
Oh yeah.
They're going, what are we going to do? Because normally the feds go, oh, here's the official going, you will blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what we're doing. We can complain whether we agree or not. There was nothing. Just nothing.
Yeah.
And that's, no one's dealt with that. And Newsom jumped on in and said, we're handling this. We can do a better job just because we think we can. We're doing it. Don't care what any federal regulations, any of it. We're doing it. And to sweeten the deal, we got a couple states that are going to go on with it, but we were doing it anyways. And he got everybody to back him.
Right.
That was a huge thing. All of these things are leadership and vision, and they all rest upon, you can't ask the feds. You just got to do it and act like we don't care what they say. And we can do that, like climate change, reaching out right to the world. But it's a lie to say that, yeah, okay, we need to have these protocols. I agree. I understand there's some debate over the last couple months. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. But originally, and with wearing a mask and everything, I totally agree. However, public trust. You're a public official. We're in a critical emergency. You have to keep trust. And what you say is, oh, I'm going to cut state workers' pay because we might go into a recession and, we need to save money for the budget because we're not going to make it prepping. And then you don't take the pay cut yourself, but you tell everybody you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, oh, that's a mistake. No, it doesn't. So right off the bat, you're saying, oh, yeah, we're in this together.
Right.
That was horrible.
Hint, wink, wink.
And then when you say, oh, you can't send your kids to school and your kid gets to school.
Right.
And then when you say businesses have to be shut down and your business is open. And then when people are struggling for money and your business definitely gets a lot of that aid.
Yeah, $4 million plus worth.
And then when you say, I understand when you do not condemn people who said that the recall effort was essentially the same thing that happened in America with the white supremacists.
Right.
White supremacists stormed the Capitol with weapons and with the intent to change the political system through violence. Using a legal system to file paperwork with the recall it's enshrined throughout the entire legal system here in California. It's based in law. It's based in how you do things. It's based in the concept of California has a high level democracy better than America, and that we have a progressive thing. This goes back to Hiram Johnson over a century ago. And that's why we're very progressive and why we have a better government here. And you said, or you allowed other people to say on your behalf and then did not criticize it. You allowed this to be out there. That people who use the law and were using our progressive system and using our better democratic system, better than we have in America, are bad people and essentially the same as those white supremacists who were violating the law.
Right.
This is absolutely total garbage, Governor. You know it. Everyone knows it. You should have condemned it. You should have not allowed to say it. And that's if the rumors are true that this was partly your idea. I don't know. I don't have evidence. So I'm going to assume it's not. But when it came out, you should have been like, no, I don't like the recall. I think they're all ridiculous. I think they're all silly people. But no, this is the law.
Yeah.
End of story. And it is not a secret plot for a coup.
Yeah, or that they're all white supremacists. Because I'm certainly not.
Yeah. I mean, like, no, he
could have fooled me.
Pull down this curtain. Watch. There's a KKK flag right. I reveal you, sir.
Oh, damn.
This is the part where you pull off your face and go,
exactly.
Ah, you caught me.
Oh,
it's a little, I mean, you shouldn't have
man.
allowed that. You should not have allowed that. That's really undemocratic. So you did some great stuff. You showed some real leadership. But I'm lying, and people are lying if they say any of the things I just mentioned are cool.
Yeah.
That's, be a liberal of fucking character. Right? It's okay to call out our officials for the things they did wrong. That's what makes us better than the Republicans, right? That we always talk, or whatever. I'm just talking about with conversations with fellow liberals. We're more rational. We'll call out our officials.
Yeah.
They have a cult like following. Okay, live it.
Exactly.
Really do it. And then don't bitch at me when I do it.
Right.
When I live out the principles that we love, and then when it comes time to do it and it's awkward and embarrassing, you go, well, I don't. Be fair.
Yeah, are you letting one silly thing hold you back? You know what I'm saying? Like abortion. I know it's a big thing, and I told her I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I actually had dated a woman that used abortion as a means to of birth control, which is and that's just wrong, you know. But we don't value life. And that's actually another thing I brought up. I'm like, you know, societally, culturally, we need to change. If you turn on the TV, watch any action movie, any TV show or something like that, they're shooting and killing and, you know, raping and pillaging, and it's all about everything negative. You don't see any positive type of communal, loving shows like that. And when it comes to us in society, we devalued life, you know, and people like these leaders that don't care about if your kids end up going hungry, or if you end up going homeless and end up in the streets. They don't care about your life. You're expendable, and we should not be treated as if we're expendable.
There are times where it's the right call to have a abortion. I have some family members who did it, and I stand by their decisions. But yes, it's always sad. It's not something you.
Yes,
want
Jason,
to
you are correct. He was asking, is this the same platform we're going to use for the debate?
Oh yeah, recall debate on StreamYard, stream.
For sure. Kill a real nigga up in the house. What's up? Welcome back, man. I told you every time I say your name, man.
It's just a setup.
It's gonna make me.
It's just like a setup. It's just like, okay, well, just by saying my name.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to the show, brother, man. We're just hanging out talking about a few things. Mainly about the thin line between, totalitarianism and freedom, because autocracy brought up that example earlier where you have one central power and authority, and we definitely have that. It's a matter of who we have in control of that, because we've given those roles of position of power too much power. They're employees. They're we the people employees, but yet we are treated as if we're their subjects. That sub word. You a sub? Are you going to submit to the state? Huh? Yeah. They just don't give a damn. This ain't right, not fair for the people. You're right about that. I think Carlos says, with abortions, here is my opinion. I don't support it. I am an emotional person, but government should not tell me what to do. Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I heard one proposal that I'll probably start using, and people may think I'm joking or whatever, but I'm going to stick to it. Whenever they say, what do you think about abortion? I'm going to say I hate it. I think men should be having vasectomy at birth.
Do that. Here's my foolproof plan to prevent abortions, man. Right. That's the most important thing, right? No abortions. Got it. You'll support me on this 100% plan, right?
Straight up. So yeah, I heard somebody speak of it because it was like a debate or some discussion about abortion.
Bend that knee.
And yeah, you gotta bend the knee.
Let me do that just because I actually backed this. The Colin Kaepernick's Californian, and the guy that worked with him to actually develop the bend the knee, also Californian.
There you go.
Two Californians actually developed the. It was two Californians that developed the bended knee thing. It was Kaepernick started sitting, and then it was a fellow Californian who goes, "Hey, why don't you kneel?" And he goes, "Yeah."
All right. So yeah, Isaiah said that. All right, yeah. He said his oldest son on the phone with you. All right, yeah, Isaiah. Yeah. So vasectomies, they're reversible for men, right? And is, I guess, some simple procedure or whatever the case may be. But yeah, vasectomies for men at birth. And let's see if there's how people feel about that argument then. And what's funny is I get a lot of women that come to me talking to me about the abortion issue. For men, it's more so like a allegiance type of thing. Do you support the president? You know what I'm saying? Do you support the Constitution? I'm like, yes, I do. I do support the Constitution. But yeah, as far as the women, the women voters that I've come across, I'm not going to say all of them, but a great deal have brought up the abortion issue. So it's crazy to me when on the campaign trail to get to actually talk to voters face to face and just see the dynamics and different like nuances that have created the situation of government that we have now, you know? And if we want to serve people of the community as representatives and do what's best for them, how can we do that role the best? Starts first by listening to those people you're going to be representing, and then, you know, figure out the math, because it is like a formula. You gotta put together all of these parts of this puzzle, because each one is different, you know. But how are you going to make everybody happy? It's yet to be done, you know. America is a young country. We're still attempting to get it back, get it in a flow of harmony. And if it's based on freedom, we still have yet to define that. You know what I mean? Since 1776, when we declared our independence, that's not that long ago.
Can I do a plug for you?
For sure. What you got?
So if you go, hey, I disagree, but you know, so here's my plug for Governor Wildstar.
All right, let's hear it.
You are tireless in your work ethic and commitment to following a project that you set your mind to. You're out there every weekend, every day, or the days that you have, and it's, you know, whether it's cold or hot or something. I mean, you're showing up. I do a lot of activism, and I can see some of the regulars showing up, but I mean, you're very consistent with that. That's huge in activism. There's a lot of commitment to, like, this is serious and this is the real process of democracy, and you do it. And you're a grassroots activist, hardcore, full stripes, all 4 stars on the shoulder.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Oh, hold on. And then,
it's quite the statement.
As we saw earlier in this recording, early on, you had an idea about I forget how to fix a problem, and it was very innovative and very original thinking. And maybe you got it from reading different other things, but you pieced it together and you could explain it to the public and go, here's how I think we can do this. And it's a brand new way that could work to a problem that seems impossible to get any blah, blah, blah. And that always reminded me of Andrew Yang, that he had these new solutions. They were very innovative. And I always said, I told you, I think you're like the Andrew Yang of California in that regard.
Oh, cool.
And finally, when you put that in addition to the kind of deep, logical, verbal calculus that you're able to do in live stream that you literally just did 1 minute ago.
Didn't notice that, but
these are things that I noticed, and I think they're there. And so when people are looking at you as a candidate, I think that they should be looking at recognizing that you are an innovative thinker. You are a true street soldier, grassroots activist who can get out there and will show up even when it's uncomfortable.
You damn Skippy.
You will meet anybody in the public and can talk to anyone in the public, which like major politicians can't. I know, I've seen them. They just don't do that. And you are able to articulate some of the deep roots of the basis of why we have democracy and why people vote a certain way. So if you like any of those things, if you're like that in a combination of a person, no joke.
Thank you. I would be forever humbled if you were to take any of what he said just now into consideration.
Put that on a flyer.
Especially,
right.
Especially when it comes to getting me elected to serve the people of California as the next governor, you know. Thank you so much for saying that.
Absolutely. And notice those were all detailed things. That wasn't just, oh, let me think of something flowery to say. It's like, I'm like, no, these are real things I've noticed. So it's real, man.
Yeah.
And if somebody's like, well, yeah, this or that, fine. But at least acknowledge that he has those real characters. And that's rare for people who run for office. Just saying. Don't lie to yourself. You don't normally see that. Okay? You might get 1 or 2.
Right.
One and then a lot of money.
Thank you, man. Thank
absolutely,
you.
absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. I do my best to make sure that I'm out there showing and proving, and leading by example,
Exactly.
I think
Yeshua
that's
gets
what
it.
matters. Yeshua says, Yang sees far, believe AI is a game changer. Nick will have you over and debate you in his living room, reasonable and well informed. Thank you.
That's the biggest compliment.
For sure.
That's the biggest compliment you can get.
Yeah, the coolest part about, talking to the ladies is, like I said earlier, I told them, hey, if we're having a conflict here and you're not going to support me, which it sounds like you may not, I don't want to waste your time by giving you my card. And I said, I can take that back if you like. And she said, oh, no, I'll keep it. Still want to look you up. And, she asked me at the end, she's like, do you mind if I keep the card? No, I don't mind at all. But I told her, I said, hey, I'm not like these other career politicians. I don't have millions of dollars in campaign donations. I don't have, the lobbyists behind me or unions or big corporations or whatever the case may be. I bought those business cards out of money out of my own pocket, and the few, committed supporters that made a donation to my campaign so I could actually afford being able to buy those cards and promotional items. So I said, I just don't want it thrown away or see it on the ground or something like that, because it has happened before. I've passed out flyers and cards and I'll leave and see it in the parking lot.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah, and that just pisses me off even more, because if you know me, one of my biggest pet peeves is fucking littering. Don't fucking litter. Okay? If I see you littering in my presence and I know you, I probably punk you into picking that shit up, damn it. Or pick it up in front of your ass and then say something scolding to you before I throw it away for you and show you what you should be doing. But yeah, so don't litter. But yeah, I let her know this. Just please don't waste my shit, because I'm paying for it, All right, Jason says, giving Sam an interview in a few minutes.
Right on.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for dropping through. And I thank you for the comments as well. And Yeshua People Power, he says, thank you for the comments as well. Felipe, everybody that's been chatting with me here. Kill a real nigga up in the house.
Try to keep a straight face.
Carlos. Really Lady Wildstar, Crystal Wildstar, of course. Julia Serrano. Yeah, all of you guys. Super King. I appreciate all of you guys for dropping through. DJ.
Aaron Hernandez.
DJ's dad. Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, for sure. All of you guys. Thank you so much for sitting down, chopping it up with us, talking about these issues, because this is the one way that we're going to be able to come up with the real resolution, is if we actually sit down and communicate with each other instead of shouting down each other and drowning out each other or turning deaf ear to each other. That's not going to help us get anywhere. And that's actually what's gotten us into the world of problems that we're in now societally, is because we're ignorant to each other. We live in a community. We got to start listening to each other if we want to live peacefully, harmoniously. We're a village. Think of it just like being in a village, okay? The people in, in the neighboring, domiciles or whatever the case may be. But, what about those people in other areas? You don't know them that much, but they're still part of that community. You all still need each other to thrive. And we definitely all still need each other to thrive. We are only one race. For all of you racists out there, we are only one race. That's the human race, okay? Ethnicities don't really matter, okay? Nationalities don't really matter, okay? We are only one race, And unless we stick together as one race, we will die. We will kill each other off. And we'll take this planet and everything along with it, along with us. We've proven that. America is the only country in the entire world that has ever used atomic weapons. And now almost every country in the world has them. We're the only country also, or maybe not the only country, but we've lost hundreds of nuclear weapons. But yeah, you can't own an AK-47. You know what I'm saying? They want to tell you what you can and cannot do, but yet they are losing weapons of mass destruction to be like, oh, we don't know what happened, you know? Come on now, something's got to change, you guys. But it's up to us to definitely change things. We got to get active in the community. So please visit my website, Wildstar 2022, down at the bottom of the screen, as you can see, and get involved in my campaign today. You can fill out one of the pledge cards, get involved, join my campaign staff team, Wildstar. I'm trying to do this right now because, as you can see with this recall, we get him out of office, get me in there. That can happen very soon. We wouldn't have to wait until 2022, which is also right around the corner. So definitely help as much as you can. This is by design. I'm just flipping through the rest of these comments right here. I know it probably pertains to some of the things that we were talking about. Worse, we shorten our progeny's lives. Negative. I'm going to talk about it. Amen. One race, one human race in peace. However, to ignore our history is to ignore our wounds and die separated. Absolutely. We don't have to stop talking about, our heritage, as individuals. We all have that, and we should be proud of it. And, there's certain things also that we shouldn't be proud of. We got to talk about those things too, but we got to be honest with one another. And that's how a great relationship starts, is with communication and honesty. You can build a great relationship on that foundation. So please definitely start talking about these things. Besides governor, what can I run for in California over 18? You can run for pretty much everything. As long as you're a registered voter, you're 18 and you're an American, you can run for office. Yeah, the only one you got to be like 35 and older for is governor and president. Libertarian candidate. I'll be the Libertarian Republican candidate for California governor. I'll be running on the Republican Party platform, not on the Republican Party platform. Let me take that back. Rewind. Strike that. I will be running as a registered Republican candidate, but I will be promoting the Libertarian Party platform. Okay, I'm still a libertarian through and through, and still the only liberty candidate that will be running for governor, and is currently running for governor at this time. If anyone is in this stream hasn't joined the campaign, you should. Let's get Wildstar in office. Yeah, do what Carlos said right there.
Right there. Do that.
Go right there. Okay. Let's get me in office. Okay. Join the campaign. That's the only way it's going to make it happen, because this is real people power right here. If you want to talk about taking back our land, our property, our lives, our choices, our future, it's up to us, and we got to get involved. The LA Times article about the recall was laughable. I know it really was, Wayne. Thank you very much for dropping that hit there. Yeah, because they tried to say pretty much that, again, everybody involved in the recall are right-wing extremists and anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists and theory. Damn it, I can't even pronounce it correctly.
Slander.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called
trying to drag we the people through the mud.
Slander.
And
Slander.
but we're going to make this happen. You can't stop it. and we're going to get the rest of those signatures needed to get Gavin Newsom out of office and get Wildstar in there. So hit up the website, wildstar2022.com. Thank you to my man right here.
Yes, on cue.
Marcus Ruiz Evans for being in the building from YesCalifornia.org. Please check it out. Website right there at the bottom of the screen, nice. YesCalifornia.org. You can print out the petition, sign that petition, and send that in. Again, like I said, to explore California independence. And we definitely want to do that as soon as possible. So let's get their petition signed and send in as soon as possible. And yeah, as I said, you guys, just get involved in the community as much as possible. This is how we take our power back. You know, that's the media for you, says Yeshua, and some, not all, definitely. So yeah, some, not all, but not us all. And we all are about that freedom. We all need to get active. So please definitely, again, visit YesCalifornia.org. Get involved in the movement for Cal exit, Cal independence right now. We're going to pressure whatever governor end up getting in office. We're going to make sure they know that we here, we have demands too. Shit, just like BLM, they got demands, we got demands, all right? Yeah. And we're going to pressure their asses to make sure they know that we mean business, okay? But we need people power to make that happen. As I said, join us at YesCalifornia.org ASAP. And please definitely help me out in my efforts to become the next governor of California by visiting my website, Wildstar2022.com. So thank you all for coming out. All the comments. Yeshua asked, do you play chess?
A little.
All right. Then we got to do the damn thing, because he gonna challenge you.
All right.
His son actually plays a lot better than him. And me as well. He whooped my ass. But yeah, it's been a while. We definitely got to play chess. We're not playing checkers anymore, you guys. We're playing chess. Okay?
Oh.
The game of life is about chess. And until next time, you guys, I appreciate you dropping through. Check me out. Keep in touch. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Connect with me. And let's grow our audience and make sure that everyone knows that we are bringing that revolution to fruition. Coffee and chess. That sounds good to me, brother, man. That's true. He beats me. Carlos, you go to end the stream. Bye. Have a good day if you are. Yes, I am. I'm out of here. And thank you all for the knowledge, y'all. Kill a real nigga. Thank you, my brother. Much love to you. And hey, till next time, you guys. Long live liberty. We up out of here. Peace.